What's going on, y'all? Getting all the cameras glass adjusted. Apologize for the late start time tonight. It was senior night at the high school, so I had to show up there, watch my daughter ball out. She's not a senior, but had to watch her ball out. All right, we should have an interesting show here tonight. Gonna get started here in just a minute. What's going on, fam? Should be interesting, man. Let's see what we're gonna get into. I put a post on there and I asked, or at least I suggested, something that pastors and politicians aren't talking about. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and start the show. You're now watching Politics is War. For those that don't know, I'm your host, B. Ellington. And tonight we're going to do a little bit of diving in to what actually a stable coin is, some of the domestic turmoil that we're currently seeing, and the realignment of colonization that we've been talking about. Could it have a more sinister end game than just elections like we've been hearing people talk about? And we'll get into the Jackson County issue too. But starting off, let's start off with
current law.
Our representatives.
French Hill can't issue. It's a member of Congress.
Right? Turn this up first.
Because that's existing law. Correct. And a member of the Senate can't issue a payment stablecoin under current law. Right?
The ethics rules of the Senate.
Okay. And senior executive officials within the executive branch can't issue a payment stablecoin today.
Because of the ethics in government.
Correct. But the President of the United States can.
That's because the U.S. government law does not apply these kinds of.
And the question is, why don't we? I'm not asking, I understand your point. The point is, if we're saying that every other member of the federal government can't issue a payment stablecoin, wouldn't it be
I'm trying to get that sound
to say
up.
that the person who is affiliated with the ownership of one of the largest stablecoins in the world, that he should be precluded too? I don't understand why we're
Of course,
banning
he's
everyone
not
else.
issuing it. He is an owner in a company that is.
He's an owner of
He's
a company
disclosing
that is.
that under the House, under the government.
I'm not asking about disclosure. I recognize, I hear your point about disclosure laws. But my point is, clearly we've decided that members of Congress, that it's not in the best interests of the constituents that you served in Arkansas and I
So
served in
these are
Colorado.
decisions made by previous Congress.
Correct, and I'm saying that in previous Congresses, they made the decision that it isn't in the best interest of the people of Arkansas or the people of Colorado, or you or I, to be issuing payment stablecoins. And you are reaffirming that. You've decided to include the rule of construction in this bill. I presume because you agree, because you think it's not.
Apologize for that. I can't get the
to have our own payment stablecoin.
sound
I
out.
agree with you. And my point is, why are we not doing that for the one person in the federal government who seems to actually have a real ownership interest affiliated with a stablecoin?
But the question is a very legitimate question that he's asking, and there has been no answer to it yet. And most American citizens aren't even fully tripping off of the repercussions. So when we talk about stablecoins, for those that are completely unaware, we're talking about digital currency. And digital currency is currently being pocketed by our executive branch, meaning he has his own stable coin. And the question in Congress that Representative McGee's brought up was, why don't we have rules and regulations in the new bill that bars Congress, bars representatives, bars senators, but it absolves the executive office and the vice president's office? Yesterday, we showed some footage that I'll go back to, because again, we're talking about stable coins and what could possibly be.
There's no doubt in my mind, cryptocurrency is going to replace traditional finance, TradFi, and it's happening so fast. I mean, cryptocurrency is literally outpacing, the growth of the internet, in the 90s, Charles. And I've never been so clear about something. I've never been able to see something so clearly in my life, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of this. And clearly, there's no doubt.
Now, when did he become an expert on cryptocurrency or currency at all? Could it have a lot to do with the tech enclave that we see supported by the executive branch? We have an ultra-right Christian material, what's the word I want to use? Militia that we're seeing being supported across the board. We've seen hate groups that have been normalized in what appears to be government functions, and then Orthodox citizens being stripped of their rights, all while our president, who leads the Christian nation, is saying stuff like this.
How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, a little cute. I don't think there's anything gonna get me in heaven. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly an Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people.
Now, that's probably one of the realest statements that you're going to hear him make when he said that he's not heaven bound, or he doesn't think he's going to make it to heaven. But that's the leader of the free world. Also the leader that is utilizing Christian doctrine, or at least Christian belief, to further his agenda in governmental divide. When we see things like this, we can say
I've got everything in my
that it's Republicans against Democrats. We can say that it's simple racism. And I do believe racism has a lot to do with the driving motivation behind a lot of people that are signing up. But do you really think people that sit on generational wealth is as petty as a one-dimensional argument? So when you see things like this,
my backpack, my birth certificate, I got my ID.
Why'd you have it in your backpack?
I had some business to take care of with the Illinois Department of Public Aid. I went there earlier in the day.
So at no point did they allow you to show your birth certificate or any other?
They didn't want to see nothing.
I've heard.
They didn't want to see nothing. They had the word ICE on their back, so I knew who they were. And I asked them, why are you guys taking me?